When I was younger, I believed that success could be measured in numbers, profit margins, net worth, the size of your house, the luxury of your car. As a CEO, I was constantly striving for more. More money, more power, more recognition. But as I sit here now, at 70, I realize just how misguided that belief was. Sometimes, you have to lose everything to see the truth. They say, the richest person is not the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. For decades, I didn't understand that. I had everything: a thriving business, a lavish lifestyle, a reputation as one of the leading names in real estate. But in chasing those things, I lost sight of the essentials, the things that truly nourish the soul. And when it all came crashing down, I was left with nothing. Or so I thought. Let me tell you, losing everything is a harsh teacher. When the numbers in my bank account plummeted and my assets vanished, I felt like my entire identity had been stripped away. For so long, I had defined myself by my success, by the empire I built. But when that was gone, I had to face a stark reality. I didn't know who I was without it. It's often said, adversity introduces a man to himself, and in my case, that couldn't have been more accurate. Rock bottom isn't just a place where you hit hard. It's a place where you see clearly. When all the distractions, accolades, and material comforts disappear, you're left with nothing but yourself. And in that silence, I began to realize something. I had been running after the wrong things my entire life. One of the first lessons I learned is that money is a tool, not a measure of worth. For years, I thought my value as a person was tied to my wealth. But the truth is, money can never fill the gaps in your heart. It can never bring you the joy, peace, or fulfillment you seek. As the old saying goes, the best things in life are free. Love, friendship, compassion, the beauty of a sunrise. These are the things that money can never buy. And these are the things that truly matter in the end. When I lost my company and my wealth, I was left with none of the things I had spent decades acquiring. But I was still alive, still breathing, still capable of love, of connection, of finding purpose. And that's when it hit me. Everything I thought was essential to my happiness wasn't. The real essentials, meaning, purpose, relationships, were the things I had neglected while chasing success. There's a Japanese proverb I often think about now: fall 7 times, stand up 8. Losing everything isn't the end. It's just a chance to begin again. And that's exactly what I did. When you're at rock bottom, you have 2 choices. You can stay down, or you can rebuild, this time with a stronger foundation. This time, I didn't rebuild my life with money or success in mind. Instead, I focused on what truly mattered: relationships, service, and personal growth. I started volunteering, working with people who didn't care about my past status or failures. I found joy in the simple act of helping others. That's something I never would have done when I was on top of the world. But now, it's what gives my life meaning. True success isn't about what you achieve for yourself. It's about what you give to others. It's the legacy of kindness and love that you leave behind, not the skyscrapers or the luxury cars. I realized that I'd been so focused on building an empire that I forgot to build a life worth living. There's an old saying, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. When I lost everything, I finally had the time and space to reflect on what I had been giving to the world. The truth was, not much. I had been living for myself, for my own glory and gain. But now, I was beginning to understand that life is about connection, about being part of something greater than yourself. I used to think the most valuable asset a person could have was their wealth. But now I know that the most valuable asset is time. Time to spend with the people you love, time to reflect, time to make a difference. You can always earn more money, but you can't buy back time. It's our most finite resource, and I wasted so much of mine chasing after things that didn't matter. There's a quote from the Dalai Lama that resonates with me now more than ever. Man sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die, and then dies having never really lived. That was me for most of my life. I was constantly chasing the future, focused on the next deal, the next project, the next success. I was always thinking ahead, never fully living in the present moment. But life is short, and we only get so many moments. What good is success if you're too busy to enjoy it? The greatest wealth, I've come to learn, isn't found in the bank. It's found in the relationships you cultivate, the memories you create, and the love you give and receive. My greatest regret isn't losing my company or my fortune. It's losing the moments I could have spent with my family, my friends, and the people who truly cared about me. In my pursuit of success, I had sacrificed the very things that make life meaningful. There's a truth that took me years to accept. You can always start again. It doesn't matter how far you've fallen or how much you've lost. There's always a path forward, a way to rebuild. And when you rebuild with love, humility, and purpose, you create something far more enduring than wealth or status. You create a life worth living. So, here I am, at 70, starting over. But this time, I'm doing it differently. I'm not chasing after the things the world tells you to chase. Instead, I'm living each day with gratitude. I'm cherishing the simple pleasures, a walk in the woods, a good conversation, a warm cup of coffee in the morning. I'm focusing on what really matters: love, connection, service, and inner peace. There's a saying that goes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I wasn't ready to learn these lessons when I was at the top, but when I lost everything, life became the teacher I needed. And now I understand. True wealth is not in what you have, but in who you are and how you live. I hope, if you're reading this, you don't have to lose everything to learn these lessons. Life is precious, and it's too short to spend it chasing after the wrong things. Success, in the end, isn't about what you leave behind in buildings or bank accounts. It's about the impact you have on the people around you, the love you give, and the way you live your life. Because when all is said and done, the only legacy that truly matters is the one you leave in people's hearts. And that, my friends, is the real measure of a life well lived.